Hey everybody, it's me, Alex Garcia, aka The Cog, coming at you from ComicBookClique.com. It's that time again. Best day of the week, new comic book day. Another big week of comics. Lots of big news coming out this week. San Diego Comic-Con is started, and we got this movie, Fantastic Four, First Steps coming out. So lots to talk about, lots to be excited about. Let's jump into the books we picked up this week. We're going to start an Image. We're going to start with Void Rivals. Number 21, Robert Kirkman and Connor Hughes, who continues to pick up for Mr. DeFelice, who left the book. But Kirkman and Connor still doing a great job on this book. The Energon universe just keeps growing and growing and growing. Here we see the two factions finally coming together. We got Proximus here. He is not happy with the way things are going. Springer and Hot Rod are coming into the action. Love how the Transformers are blending into this book. Energy needs to get hotter and hotter. And now with Kirkman about to take over for Danny Warren Johnson, it's just going to get better and better, guys. Check out this book. And let's stick around in Image, where we got Geiger, number 16 by Jeff Johns, with Iman Winkle coming in to do the art. Gary Frank is off. The glowing man has found his old ally who was trying to help him with his issues. But now that we got the glowing woman coming into effect and all these revelations going on, the glowing man is just not happy. He hasn't been happy pretty much since everything started popping off, right? I wouldn't be happy either if my entire family got incinerated or I got completely incinerated and it turned out that my family wasn't completely safe. And this new world I'm in, I'm just stuck in. They're trying to figure out how to fix Junkyard Joe, and they're trying to figure out exactly what to do and how to potentially solve the problems with this world. And the way this issue ends, seems like we got big revelations going on for our boy, the glowing man. Don't miss it. Let's jump over to Boom. We got Minor Arcana by Jeff Lemire, and continuing with Letizia Canadonici. I believe I pronounced that correctly. This issue, she does a great job of emulating Jeff Lemire. The last issue that she started with, you could tell it was not Jeff. She's here, I feel like she's purposefully trying to be more like Jeff. And this book just gets better and better, guys. Teresa, our main character, right? She's in this town where now she's realizing more and more, hey, I seem to have magical abilities, but the town people, it's like a secret that it's not supposed to be out there. The town itself is showing that it doesn't want this secret to get out. Lots of fun things are happening. We're just waiting for more of these revelations to come around. And Jeff, as always, brilliant storytelling. Love this book. Now let's jump over to Dynamite. Finally, the return of Dynamite on a consistent basis. We got Captain Planet and the Planeteers, number 2. That beautiful cover. This is over by David Papose and Iman Casalos. This is a fun book, guys. I was a big fan of Captain Planet back in the day. This is the second issue, and David Papose, you could tell, loves the cartoon. He loved the animated series back in the day. You can tell he just wants to elevate it, bring it up to this modern day storytelling. Gaia is captured. She's trying to get the Planeteers to come back together to use those rings to summon Captain Planet to save her and the rest of the planet. Why not, right? Good stuff, good art, a lot of fun. Dynamite continue to do a great job with these books. Speaking of Dynamite doing a great job with these books, SilverHawks, number 5 by Ed Britson and I can never say his name right, George Kambadais. Guys, here we get the origin of Stargazer, right? Stargazer, where we find out why exactly he hates Brimstar so much, and action-packed issue, really staying in tone with the funness of the SilverHawks, right? If you remember just the theme song and the way everything broke down from that theme song, you knew this was an action-driven story. A lot of fun, lots of shininess, the chrome on all these characters. Ed really loves this stuff. I'm really enjoying it, loving. I've been saying it for weeks, how they're fleshing out all these basic stories from our childhood, right? We had Thundercats, we have Captain Planet, we got SilverHawks. Now we're getting into the nit and gritty of why these cartoons were occurring, right? Not just to sell toys, but to tell great stories. So thank you, Ed, and thank you, Dynamite. Let's jump over to DC, where we got Mr. Terrific by Al Letson and what's his first name? Valentin Delandro and Marissa Louise. Now, this story is the year one story, right? It's the origin of Mr. Terrific, but it also has a modern story that's going on. The modern story, of course, is making him reflect on why exactly Mr. Terrific does what he does, right? Because it's all about that fair play. This character, I've been saying it from when this book was announced, I called that this was going to be a great book, especially now everybody, because of this wonderful movie, everybody's jumping on the Mr. Terrific bandwagon, and please, by all means, keep jumping on it. No gatekeeping here, guys. Let's keep it going. So this book is fantastic. I'm loving seeing how this character is so much deeper than just the stuff we do know about his origin, and seeing how the way he learns to be the hero that he now is, and how even now he's still having to learn even more about himself. So thank you, Al, for tackling the story. DC, give this man more work, and the rest of you out there as well. Good stuff. Now let's jump over to the Absolute universe. We got Absolute Wonder Woman by Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. Hayden is probably the most flexible artist out there. They really understand how the art can tell the story. They always are willing to modify their art to elevate the story. If it wasn't for this art, no offense to Kelly and what she's doing with her words and everything like that, but the art really, really sells this book. We got Diana going through the maze of the Minotaur, trying to save Petra. Diana's just doing everything she can to maintain her hero status. We're smack in the middle of this story. Diana's just hustling and bustling through this maze, trying to solve it. What a story, guys. And like I said, the way, because they're in a maze, and the way Hayden is telling the story, I just to spoil, I don't want to spoil any of the art, but don't miss this issue, guys. If you're not collecting Absolute Wonder Woman, this is the place you want to jump on it, even though it's in the middle of the story. And Hayden, don't take any more time off from this book, please. Keep it coming. And let's jump over to Absolute Martian Manhunter. Talk about somebody taking some time off. And Dennis, we love you, but not looking forward to the hiatus that's going to happen on this book, because Dennis Camp, Javier Rodriguez, you guys are killing it on this book. You better get at least nominated for a couple of Eisners. You better win a couple. Now, we know the White Martian was making everything white hot. Now we're seeing how everything's becoming cold, and it's about to get colder. We got John Jones is about to deal with something really, really gnarly, potentially. I'm really hoping that's not what happens. Martian Manhunter, he better do something, because something really, really bad is about to happen. But like I said, we just went from this white hot story to this really, really dark story, and it might get darker. This book continues to just be an absolute mind trip. Now it's turning out maybe it's not such a mind trip. Don't miss it. Guys, let's jump into Marvel. A book that completely took me by surprise. Wasn't even expecting to see this on the shelves. We got Franklin Richards, Son of a Genius by Chris Elipoulos and Mark Sumarek. Guys, this is a reprint, not even an official facsimile of this great series from years ago. I can't even tell you, probably like 15, 20 years ago, where it's Franklin Richards with Herbie in a very much Calvin and Hobbes type storytelling. The art is adorable. If your kids are too young maybe to start reading the Fantastic Four, can't really find an all ages Fantastic Four book to give them, get them this book. This comic, it's told through like comic strips. You got Franklin running around with Herbie, just getting into all types of fun antics, pulling pranks on all the Fantastic Four pulling some pranks on them. Fun stuff. I read these books back in the day with my oldest son, and I look forward to rereading them now with my youngest. And you guys will too. I'm just smiling ear to ear because I absolutely love this book, and I'm so happy it's back out there. Check it out. Let's jump over to Amazing Spider-Man. I had to pick up the Dan Panosian cover, right? Joe Kelly and John Romita Jr. keep telling a fantastic story of this Hell's Gate character. This issue, guys, reminded me a lot of when Spidey first had to deal with... Help me out, guys. Who was that crazy vampire that Straczynski introduced? Can't remember his name right now. Not Morbius, the other one. Anyway, let me know. A knockdown, brutal fight between him and Hell's Gate to the point where Spidey's thinking maybe his number's up. Hell's Gate's proving himself to be quite the villain, and Joe Kelly has me feeling like this could be the end, even though we know it's not gonna be. We'll see how Spider-Man overcomes the odds. But Joe, you keep showing that you have a love for this character. And guys, I picked up the Dan Panosian cover because I'm sorry, JR is just still not quite doing it for me. The art in this book was overall better. Still looking forward to Mr. Pepe Larraz coming back. Let's jump over to the X-Men, right? We got Uncanny X-Men, number 18 by Gail Simone and Luciani Vecchio. But we got a David Marquez cover. He's too busy to do the interiors because he's got his own book out coming out. But I'm happy to still see him doing the cover. And guys, I'm really loving the Outliers. I'm really loving how Gail is setting up this team with Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and company. This is a month-to-month book that I'm really liking how they're building these relationships. I'm not totally looking forward to how this is going to tie into this next thing we're going to talk about, because I feel like it might derail it a bit. But maybe it won't. Maybe it won't, because we're going to talk about X-Men Age of Revelation. This is by Jed MacKay, one of my favorites right now, who's writing the regular X-Men book. But this is X-Men Age of Revelation. This is like a one-shot to introduce us to this new event that's going to be happening. It's kind of reminiscent of the Age of Apocalypse. So now we have the Age of Revelation, because as we learned from the last issue of X-Men, Revelation, aka Doug Ramsey, the new Apocalypse, seems like he has to kick off his own Age of Apocalypse, figure out his place in the world, and how, of course, Apocalypse has influenced all of Marvel history. How is he going to influence history? And we see where this history is going, and we're going to find out, much like the Age of Apocalypse, maybe why it shouldn't go down that path. The artwork in this book is absolutely gorgeous. Humberto Ramos does a great job. I really did enjoy this, but I'm just a little worried with how it's going to potentially derail all the momentum of all the X books, as long as a couple other books. But let's go for the ride, guys. Let's go for the ride, because I can imagine back in the day, I loved Age of Apocalypse, but I can imagine back in the day, a lot of people weren't excited about the idea of having their books thrown into this other world for 4 months. But that turned out to be one of the greatest X-Men stories ever told. So maybe that's what we will get here. Don't miss this issue, just in case you want to know where everything's going. This is a big one, guys. Don't miss out. Speaking of big ones, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, number 10, which is Moon Knight's 250th issue. And Jed, this is still your bread and butter, baby. We don't have Alessandro Capucci on the art, but we do have Pramanik, his first name I cannot remember at the moment. Guys, this was oh my God, the fight scenes in this book were absolutely amazing. Just seeing everybody from the Midnight Mission dealing with their villainous counterparts, so to speak, and Moon Knight finally getting his hands on Achilles. What's this gentleman? What's the villain? Achilles Fairchild, right? The Asgardian gangster. The fight ends kind of out of nowhere, but it sets up what I'm even more excited about. I don't want to spoil it, but that final page just got me excited. If you've been reading Moon Knight, when you get to that last page, you'll know why I'm excited. I can't wait to see where this continues to go. Jed, like I said, this is your bread and butter. This is the book I tell everybody they have to be reading. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. Don't miss it. And that's what we got here, guys. That's what I picked up for the week. I know there was so much other stuff I should have picked up, but I just couldn't quite get there. New Godzilla series coming out of nowhere. More DC books. I missed out on Superman number 28. I know I need to pick that up. A couple other books. So much fun stuff, guys. Also, don't miss out on what we're doing on the channel. We're covering San Diego Comic-Con. Lots and lots of good news coming out for the next couple of days, so don't miss out on our coverage. As well as, we got Snap Judgments by Pulse Glazer. If you want to know the newer strategies on that game, don't miss out on our videos on the channel, on our YouTube channel. And keep track of us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X. Everywhere you look up Comic Book Clique, you look up Major Issues Podcast, that's where you're going to find us. And guys, big one's coming. Fantastic Four First Steps. I'll be seeing it tomorrow. Hopefully everybody will be seeing it very soon. And don't miss our podcast next week. It's going to be another big one. So guys, thank you as always. Like, share, and comment. Let's have a discussion. Keep print alive. Read more comics. Thank you.